episode of On the Edge with Ekkono, our CEO, Linn Sidahl, talked about why machine learning really needs edge and the importance of learning individually per device to truly make them smarter. And by smarter, we first and foremost mean cognitive, predictive, and context aware. In this episode, we will talk about another thing that machine learning really needs, namely data. But more precisely, why data won't be the new oil and why insights matter. My name is Linn Sidahl. I'm Head of Business Development at Ekkono Solutions, and welcome to the second episode of On the Edge with Ekkono. The technical definition of IoT is that we connect physical things to the internet. We apply a bunch of sensors and actuators and connect them to retrieve data. A common scenario is then that vendors like to capitalize on this data because that's what made companies like Facebook and Google so successful. But this isn't always as easy as it seems, for a number of reasons. First and foremost, customers will be more and more reluctant to sharing data, and we already see how regulations like GDPR complicates things. And it's also way harder than it seems to handle someone else's data, and therefore it's costly. So at Ekkono we like to turn things around. Let's suppose that it's complicated and nearly impossible to earn money on the data itself. Then how can we really make money on smart IoT? We know that IoT holds a tremendous potential, and we stated in the previous episode of On the Edge with Ekkono that the number of connected devices in the world was predicted to hit 50 billion by 2020. This number was then expected to rise by another 35 billion in 2021, and by 2030, this figure is expected to reach 125 billion. So how can we really capture this potential and actually capitalize on smart IoT? Well, first let's look at the opportunities that IoT possesses. It gives us the ability to extend the relationship with the product to after it leaves the factory. This enables you to earn money on your produced goods beyond your facilities. And it's done by adding smart features on board the device. Smart features are insights leveraged from data with the help of machine learning. We've learned that edge machine learning enables us to run machine learning on board small hardware platforms close to the sensors on board the device. And this enables us to take instant action based on real-time data without any latency and without having to generalize over an entire population. We simply learn individually, and that is the true business potential of IoT. And if a device is self-learning and self-configuring, there is money to be made, or saved if you prefer, throughout the entire product lifecycle. In production, for example, you'll need fewer start configuration stock, as the unit will self-configure once it's installed and being deployed. It's a little bit like the principle of learning at work. Let's take the example of a forklift. If a forklift could self-configure based on where and how it was being used, you wouldn't have to pre-configure it before you shipped it to the customer. The device will take the local conditions into consideration, such as surface, hours of operations, or ambient climate, and then auto-configure to run optimally based on this. Not only have you saved time and cost on installation, you've also been able to deliver a premium value to your customer, as the forklift will run optimally based on your customer's local conditions. In this scenario, you've saved cost in the stages of production and installation, and you've also added opportunity to deliver a premium value and therefore charge a premium price. And if a forklift can auto-configure to run optimally based on where it's being deployed, isn't there also a really nice opportunity to not sell the forklift as a one-off transaction, but rather to rent it out as a subscription? Perhaps forklift as a service will be something that we hear about quite soon. So if you're watching this now and think, yes, I do sell products with sensors, and of course I want to see if I can add more value and at the same time see if I can earn money based on smart features on board a product. How do I even get started? Well, here are some tips on that. First, a business case rarely starts with technology or data. Don't think about what data you're having. Think about what problems you'd like to solve or what new opportunities you'd like to realize. A common misconception is that if you haven't collected data for the last 3 years, then it's not really possible to get started with machine learning. Well, that is not true. One of the biggest benefits with edge machine learning is that we don't need a lot of historical data to start from. We can learn on the fly by implementing something we call incremental learning and start seeing very interesting results quite soon. And of course, this is an entirely chapter of its own, and we will dig deeper into what incremental learning actually means in later episodes of On the Edge with Ekkono. Second, and this is very important, especially for me who is a business developer myself, always build a business case around a solution. Smart digital features can always be cool, but think about, are your customers willing to pay for it? Think about your customers' pain points and how you can resolve them with new smart features. And last but not least, IoT is not about connecting things, it's about connecting smart things. Thanks a lot for watching this episode of On the Edge with Ekkono, and we'll see you soon again. Bye!